Hello and welcome to Dream Life Designer. I'm Lauren, and in this video you will learn how to decide which goals to focus on. I come out with new videos every week, so please click subscribe below to be the first to know about them. If you're like me, you probably have a lot of goals and dreams you're trying to achieve, and sometimes it can be really hard to figure out where to even start and what to focus on because you have so many things you're trying to achieve. The trick is to do all the things, to get it all done. You can't do it all at once. You can only do so much at once. So the key is to prioritize and really put most of your focus on just a few goals at once. Then the question is, how do you do this? Where do you start, since so many of your goals seem so important? I have a couple strategies that I use to help me, so hopefully they will help you too as you prioritize your goals and decide which ones to focus in on. To start, you should have your dreams and your goals really visualized, written out, and clear so that you don't lose sight of some, that you can kind of look at them all at once, look at the big picture. If you don't have them written all down already, if you haven't done that work to figure out even what your dream really is, I recommend you go back and you watch some of my earlier videos about defining your dream, about setting your goals. That will really help you kind of get that step done. And then this part here can help you as you set in some of your 3-year, 5-year, 1-year goals. This is more the focusing in on what am I focusing on right now? So if you haven't done some of those earlier ones, go back, watch those videos. I'll put links below to them. And then this will help you as you get a little further on in setting your goals, figuring out where your focus should be at the moment. Once you've clarified your dreams and goals and you've written them down, then we can move on to this next step, which is to look at what really jumps out to you. Are there things that you're just really passionate about that just jump out beyond everything else that you are like, this is what I really want. I've been dreaming of this for so long. This is my biggest goal. This is my biggest dream. If that really jumps out at you, then that's probably an important one to be focusing on. That's one that you want to prioritize. Maybe that's that you want to own your own home, or maybe that you want to go live in Italy for a year. What is that big drive? What are the ones that really jump out at you that you're really passionate about? Next, you want to look at what goals would help you achieve more goals in the future. So maybe the goal in itself, it's a goal you want to achieve, but it's not one that jumps out at you, that you're really super excited about, that jumps out beyond all the others. But it's one that if you get that goal done, then you're going to be able to achieve so many other dreams and goals in the future. For example, maybe you want to get a raise or create some side income or find a better job where you get better pay, because with that higher level of income, you will be able to achieve so many other dreams that you would like to get done. And that's a key to achieving more in the future. So that might be a good one for you to prioritize, whatever it is that will unlock the doors to more of your goals and dreams. Another thing to consider is what goals have the biggest impact on your current quality of life in the moment. Maybe it's not as big of a goal or a dream, maybe it's not one you're as passionate about, but maybe you think, if I get this one achieved, then my current quality of life will be so much better, and that will make a huge impact there. Those could be good ones to prioritize too. Another important thing to consider is what goals are time constrained. So some of your goals have an external deadline that has to be done, not necessarily a deadline you set for it, but in order to do it, there's a deadline there. Maybe you have to have something submitted by a certain time, or created for a presentation or for a show at a certain time. So that's important to consider on what to prioritize, because if you don't get it done now, it may never be done if there's a deadline that you'll miss if you put that one off. So that's important to look at. Finally, what to consider is what goals can you get done quick and easily, that you'll have them checked off, marked off your list, you can move on and focus your energy on bigger goals that you have. So a lot of times that can be really motivating. If you have a really big goal you're focused on, but it's going to take a lot of time to get there, it can be motivating and encouraging to have some of those other quick and easy goals that you're checking off as you go along, so you don't feel like I'm never achieving my goal. And whatever the results of those quick and easy goals are, you get those results now in your life. So you're getting closer to living your dream life by having those done. Just be sure you're not neglecting your bigger dreams and goals to achieve those smaller, quick and easy goals, because you want to still be working on at least one of those big goals while you're focusing in on some of those quicker ones. Because if you only focus on the quick ones, you're not going to get to those bigger goals. In my life, I usually have 1 or 2 really big goals I'm focused on that I put most of my energy into. Then I have maybe a secondary one that I kind of put a bit of focus into, but it's not the really big ones I'm focused on. And then I have just kind of peripheral ones where I'm working a little bit here and there on them, but I'm not putting a ton of energy in really achieving those right now, getting it all done. So for example, when my husband and I were buying our home, that was one of the really big goals. There's a lot that goes into buying a home, from meeting with the realtor to going around and looking at all the different homes, from getting all the paperwork ready, your finances ready, looking online and searching for homes that you might be interested in. So that takes up a lot of time. That was one of my really big focuses at the time. Also at the time I was starting up my dance team, so that took a lot of my focus and energy. Those are my two big things I was really focused on. Then on the side I had a couple other things I was working on, but really focused on those so I could get a lot done on those big goals. Then once I achieved those, I can move on and put more energy elsewhere. So once I bought my house, that's done. That's ticked off my checklist of goals. So I can move on, focus on other things, don't have to think about that anymore. My dance team, it's still going. I still have to do things to maintain it, but it's set up. It doesn't take as much energy as it did at the beginning to really get it going. It takes ongoing energy, but it's not necessarily the big thing all the time for me to be focusing on. Maybe here and there I will focus in more on something if I have something big we're working on, but it's not always my big focus anymore. Also, feel free to shift your goals around. You do want to try and maintain focus for a while on whatever your big ones are so you can make progress there, but life happens, changes happen, and sometimes different goals will pop up as more important. Maybe a deadline will pop up for an opportunity that is really important to you, and so you need to get something done for that opportunity. So you're going to put one of the other goals on the back burner a little bit. That's totally fine. It's your life. You do what you need to do to live your dream life. But try to stick for a little while with your big goals, whatever you said is your main focus for the moment. Try to stick with it for a while so you can make some progress. Don't go changing it every day. But don't feel bad if you do kind of switch it around, because that happens. Different things become more important. Different things become less important. If you need to switch it around, feel free. For example, for me, language learning is something that I find interesting, and I really want to learn more languages. I'm decent in Spanish and French. I want to improve those languages. I also want to learn other languages. So a while back, I was starting to put language learning as a bigger focus for me. I was doing some independent study on some new languages, but then some other things came up for me to put my focus on instead in the moment. So the language learning kind of took a back seat, but I haven't totally lost focus on that. It's not my main focus. I'm not working on any new languages right now, but because languages is a goal of mine, it is an interest and a dream of mine, I am still working on improving my Spanish and my French. I listen to radio stations when I'm in my car in those languages to help improve my listening skills, to build my vocabulary, to just keep it fresh in my mind. So that's a way I can still kind of have a peripheral involvement in that goal without it being my main focus. It's not taking up a lot of my time. It's just as I'm driving somewhere to do something. So you can kind of shift things around. You can keep some of those goals going even if they're not your main focus, but you're not going to make the same progress. If language learning was my main focus right now, I would expect to see a lot more progress there than I'm seeing just a little bit of progress, a little bit of maintenance and upkeep on my languages, but not that growth that I would expect if I was really focused in on it at the moment. And in the future, I do plan to go back and learn more languages, but right now I have some other things that are more priority in my life, and so I'm putting my focus and energy into those. You can only do so much at a time. Then when I have some of these other priorities out of the way, I can go back, put more focus in on the language learning, and really get a lot accomplished there. I should mention also to avoid jumping around from thing to thing and changing too often what my focus is, I do try to give myself kind of a time frame in which I'm focusing on something. I might say, okay, for the next 3 months, I'm going to focus on this goal and try and get as much done as I can get on it. And then maybe from there, I might keep going. I might focus on a different one for a while, but that helps too, to kind of have that time frame that you've set to focus on something. Even though you're focusing in on just a few goals at a time as your big focus, that doesn't mean you can't still work on your other goals. You can still fit them in here and there, just like I fit in my language learning. You can fit in other things bit by bit, but make sure you have 1 or 2 at least that you're really focused on, that you're spending a lot of time investing in that, because then you'll see lots of progress there. I hope these tips were helpful for you in determining how to prioritize your goals, which ones to really focus in on at the moment, to not feel too overwhelmed with all the things that you want to accomplish. And please share below, what is a goal that you're going to start prioritizing, or that you already are prioritizing right now? I love getting to know you better, and I also take your comments into account as I make future videos. So please leave a comment below. Also, if you found this video helpful, if you enjoyed it, please click like and share this video with a friend. And remember to subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.